school year isn't over yet, and Omaha Public Schools has already traveled to dozens of recruiting events across several states to make sure there is a teacher in every classroom next year.
Our Bella Caracta did some digging into resignation and retirement numbers this year and what next school year might look like for students.
John Lauren, if we look at the latest resignation numbers in OPS and those from the past 2 years, in the thick of the pandemic, the 2020-2021 school year, 362 OPS staff members resigned. For the 2021-2022 school year, that number nearly doubled to 615 staff resignations. This year, the number of staff resignations is 497. I spoke with OPS about what's being done to adjust.
Like last year, it is going to be a challenge.
A challenge they started tackling more than a year ago.
We have staff that have traveled over 100 events, 18 different states across the nation, recruiting teachers alone.
But he says every classroom will have a dedicated teacher next year. How they're doing that?
Some of that's looking at class sizes, some of that's looking at across the district where we're gaining students and where we're losing students as natural family patterns adjust across the city.
Lane Keel, grandparent to a Liberty Elementary School student, hopes that the staffing issue doesn't affect her granddaughter's education.
Well, the concern would be if there are enough teachers for the classes to continue as they are.
According to OPS data, the average class size for elementary school was on a downward trend, but jumped up, as you can see in dark blue, for the 2022-2023 school year. OPS parent Sydney Blake thinks about the teachers who she and her daughter say they adore.
I think it can affect the children. I mean, you run somebody so hard so long, and eventually it's just they're burnt out and teachers don't want to teach.
And it's one of the reasons we negotiated the contract we did with them to recognize their efforts.
This February, the district agreed to a new 3-year contract starting in the 2023-2024 school year. The negotiated agreement increases the base teacher salary by $7,200 over the next 3 years. Other staff members are also getting raises. In a final message to parents, Wakefield had to say,
so ultimately we'll have great teachers in front of our classes doing great things with our kid, and we'll have another successful school year.
On your side, in Omaha, Bella Caracta, 6 News.
The district was not able to tell us how many of those nearly 500 staff resignations are filled so far and how many of the openings were filled last year. We'll be sure to bring you those numbers when we receive them.